Hi everyone, my name is Dani from Dani's Book Corner, and today, as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be giving you a bunch of summer book recommendations. I've never done this type of video before, but I figured I would do a video specific to books that I think are really good to read in the summer, because I've mentioned a bunch of these books before, but I figured I would throw them in a video of specifically ones that I think are good to read over the summer. So let me stop babbling and let's get into it. So in this video I'm going to give you 6 book recommendations, 2 being contemporaries, 2 being classics, and 2 being fantasy/sci-fi. So the first contemporary that I have to show you is Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. You know that I love this book if you've been giving up my channel, but basically this book is about a girl named Emily, and she has a best friend named Sloane, I think is how you say her name. Emily is kind of introverted and shy, whereas Sloane is the exact opposite and very extroverted and adventurous. So Emily is really looking forward to having a really fun summer with Sloane and doing all these cool things and everything that she wouldn't do if she wasn't friends with Sloane. But then Sloane goes missing. All that Sloane leaves behind is a scavenger hunt list. So Emily believes that this is what's going to give her the opportunity to find Sloane. So she goes through the whole list. She starts off being really shy, of course, because she's trying to do stuff that's really out of her comfort zone. But then she grows and there's a whole lot of character development with Emily. I love the character Emily. There's a little cute little romance in here that I think is really great. And of course it takes place over the summer. So I just think this is a cute, lighthearted, fun summary read. Okay, so the next contemporary summary that I recommend for you guys to read is Girl Against the Universe by Paula Stokes. Again, you guys know I love this book so much. I have a review on it if you want to see a little bit more details about how I feel about it. But basically, this book is about a girl named McGuire who really believes that she has really bad luck. Because among other like little bad luck kind of skirmishes things that happened, the biggest one that happened was that she was in a car accident in which her brother, uncle, and father all died, but she only got away with like barely a scratch. And so she feels very guilty that she was the only one that survived that incident. And so since then, she doesn't attend a public school. She just holds up in her room with books and stuff. She does all of these good luck rituals that she found on the internet, has a bunch of good luck charms. And she starts going to a therapist where she meets this boy who's convinced that he can help McGuire to solve her bad luck. They become friends, and just this book just follows McGuire's journey into overcoming her thoughts of bad luck, and it tackles mental health in a really positive way. And I just love this book so much. I think it does take place in the school year, but it is a really good summer read, and I just love it so much. So the next 2 books I have to recommend to you guys are 2 classics. The first of which being Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. This book I actually read last school year, so it is pretty fresh in my mind. It is probably one of my favorite classics that I've ever read. So basically, if you don't know what it's about, it's a dystopian that was published, I believe, a little bit after 1984. It's a dystopian in which people are made into different factions, so literally as soon as they are born, they are made into a certain faction because of certain physical characteristics that the government makes into these people. So I believe there are alphas, betas, omegas, deltas, and epsilons. Epsilons being the lowest of the low, and alphas are the highest. They are the most intelligent, the most attractive, whereas the epsilons are the least intelligent and the least attractive. This book follows basically an alpha who doesn't really like fit in with like how his society is set up, because his society is really obsessed with pleasure and drugs and stuff like that, and he's not really into that. So he goes on like an adventure to go see other worlds outside of London, because that's where this book takes place. So he goes, I think, like somewhere like New Mexico or something like that. Somewhere that will be considered like the States right nowadays. So he discovers like these people that people in London consider savages, because oh my gosh, they actually they birth children. Oh my god, what a concept. What? And they also believe in hard work and stuff like that. Oh my god, another concept. What? So of course it's a dystopian, but it's like a critique of our world, what it could eventually become like the one in London that is portrayed in this book, and it has really good discussions. I know this is a book that a lot of high schooler reads, because I am a high schooler, so I read this book. So also summer is just a really good time to catch up on these classics, maybe get ahead a little bit, and also you have a lot more time in the summer, most people, to really read in depth of these novels, so maybe if you read them in the school year this year, you'll be already familiar with these books. So the next classic I have to recommend to you, because now Brave New World is a British literature, now I have some American literature to recommend to you, and that is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. This is probably one of my favorite American classics that I've read. Basically, it is set during the Roaring Twenties. It follows this guy named Jay Gatsby, who we meet through the eyes of the narrator whose name is Nick. Never have Gatsby's first-person perspective. Everything that we know about Gatsby is from Nick's point of view. So the whole book is from Nick's point of view. Gatsby is trying to attract this woman that he used to date a long time ago, but now because he had to go off to the war, he hasn't seen her in a while, and now she's since been married and has a child. So he tries to throw off these really extravagant parties because he's wealthy and everything to attract her to his mansion, and then it just follows his kind of adventures with trying to do that and all the downfall that comes from that. So it's quite a whirlwind of a ride, and it's not a very long book from what I can recall. So you should probably be able to finish that really quickly. And Jay Gatsby is a really interesting character. The next thing I have to recommend to you are some fantasy and sci-fi books, and the first one is not just one book, but an entire series. It is the Percy Jackson series. Let me go put these down because I'm only going to hold up the one book. This is the Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan. If you have not heard of this series, I do not know where he would have been, because this is an amazing middle grade that is all over BookTube, just all over the place. Like, I don't know how you could not have heard of this series. After you finish this video, this is probably one of the first that you should get on to finish, okay? You should read this summer. Read the Percy Jackson series, okay? It's really good, okay? You'll be hooked, I promise you. This is a middle grade story that basically follows a young boy named Percy Jackson, hence the name of the series. So he discovers that he's a demigod, and his father is Poseidon, and he just has a regular human mother, obviously, hence the name demigod, because he's not completely god. He goes to Camp Half-Blood, which is where a bunch of demigods live, because it's protected from like monsters and stuff. So basically in this book, Percy just goes on a bunch of crazy adventures with his friends from Camp Half-Blood and meets all these monsters and heroes and gods from Greek mythology, and I really like how Rick Riordan portrays a bunch of the gods and stuff, because I think they're really similar to how they are portrayed in Greek mythology. He really personifies them well, and it's just such a fun book to read, fun series to read. You'll really go really quickly through these books. And the last book that I have to recommend to you guys is Illuminate by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I love this book so much. You probably picked up on that a lot. This is a sci-fi novel that's told through a bunch of emails and text messages, pictures and maps, and like descriptions of like security cam footage and a lot of other stuff. And it's really cool. It follows a girl named Katie who just broke up with her boyfriend Ezra, and then their home planet, which is called Carenza, is attacked literally the next day, and they're like, oh my god, I need to fight for my life. Luckily, they get onto 2 separate spacecraft, so they escape, and they're all okay, except for the fact that things aren't really okay, because one of the ships that attacked is following them. So they're really in a race against the clock to get to the next jump station, which is like a place where you can like teleport in this world so they can get to safety. Not only do they have to worry about a ship potentially attacking them, but also the computer on board the ship is going all kinds of haywire and going crazy. And there is also a disease that they have to worry about that is really highly contagious and really dangerous. So there are so many elements to this story, and it's really interesting, and it flies by really quickly, although I will say it is hard to get into at first, but once you get into it, it is so good, it is so worth it, and it honestly feels like you're reading or like you're watching an action movie. It is so cool. I love this novel so much. And that, guys, are some book recommendations I have for you guys for over the summer. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think of these books after you read them, or if you read some of them already. Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up so I know. And don't forget to subscribe before you leave if you want to see more content from me. And I guess I'll just see you guys all later. Bye!